Hello everyone, and welcome back to Shadowrun Returns. You are joined again on this journey today with VoiceOver Shadow, or Editing Shadow as we shall call him, as the audio, or rather the mic, for recording Shadow did not work. So I am watching my own footage and just kind of commentating, reading all the dialogue over it. This is the last episode of that. Hopefully we won't have this issue going forward, but the next episode should be back to normal recording Shadow. So without any further ado, we're going to get in here and hop right back into the Matrix and try and find the psychiatrist that our Emerald City Ripper died and left all his belongings to. We're getting hooked up here. We take, of course, our 2 ESPs. We take Blaster, we take Erosion, we take Firewall, and we take Killer. We go full offense here since Johnny has both Medic and Suppression. And of course, we plug him in there and get going. Now, we have a white Sparky icy, I love how it's called Sparky, and a white icy orb thing. Because of the whole black IC showing up last time, we try and take more notice of the alarm level here. Anyways, we hit the white Sparky IC with both a Erosion and a Blaster. Trying to hit both of them here. Unfortunately, it goes wide and we hit neither. It's okay, Johnny is here to the rescue. And he's going to follow up with a Killer? Yeah, he's going to follow up with a Killer here. And down goes the white Sparky IC, baby. Better take cover. And that white orb could not hit the broadside of a Vienna. Sorry, Vienna is a different character I'm thinking of. The broadside of a Shadowfist. There we go. I think when I first played this game, I called my character Vienna. Anyways, a Killer and Erosion, and the thing is dead. Unfortunately, we still need Johnny to come do the hack, because we exhausted ourselves there. Searching medical records for Silas Forsberg. Located 2020 to 2030, 2030 to 2040, and 2040 to present. We start with the first one, obviously. Pediatric record partial. One particular pediatrician's entry stands out from the rest. Child suffers from a chronic depression and social anxiety, most likely caused by his physical abnormalities. We've seen many cases like this recently, with the outbreak of changeling children being born. With the aberrant physiology we're seeing, there is no telling what sort of brain functions are affected. Prescribed a series of sedatives last year that seemed to have no effect, upping the dosage. Yeah, that sounds healthy. Data missing or corrupted, contact your administrator for help. The file is quite large and takes well over an hour to read through. The final entry, however, is the most significant. It is written by Dr. Henry Holmes. Silas has overcome a significant mental disorders and no longer goes through periods of violent episodes. Latest medications have proven especially effective, but I believe that being treated by another elf has significantly impacted his treatment. Unfortunately, my efforts to maintain an emotional boundary with him have proven challenging. He has bonded to me in an unhealthy and frankly an unnerving way. His hero worship exhibits itself in the form of mimicked speech patterns and adopting my dress. For this reason and for the health of the patient, I am assigning another doctor to his case. I will inform him at his next session. Yeah, that's totally gonna go well, my guy. Got a name now, Dr. Holmes. Let's keep going and find out where it leads. Going indeed. We have a black IC and a white IC orb here. The black IC is, of course, the bigger issue, so we're going to take cover farther away from that if we can help it. Good cover, as it turns out. Perspective here is a bit weird, too. We're going down to go up, but that's the Matrix for you. Let's get Vienna into a good... I'm going to keep doing that. Let's get Shadow into a good cover here. I really should have named her Vienna. And we try out Firewall for the first time, which works kind of interestingly. You can really lead it wherever you want it to. Fortunately, I don't think it really does much good here, but it's still cool to try out. We're gonna hit this IC with a killer. Wunderbar. Can we kill it with a regular attack? We can. And then I think we go for a suppression here. No, we summon an ESP. That's smart. Black IC after all. Don't want to get our asses destroyed. Into cover and hit that girl with a tar bomb, which unfortunately makes the firewall pretty useless because it can no longer pass through it. But what can you do? 10 host damage. That's right. Black IC doesn't do damage to you, your avatar. It does damage to you personally in the outside world. So, quite dangerous. We don't want another one spawning, so let's do that suppression, which as you see really doesn't suppress much, but it's better than nothing. Thankfully, a killer from Vienna finishes this thing off. Just so we don't have to have, not Vienna, Shadow, walk through the fire. We go and have the attacker do it. Employment records located, Henry Hollings Holmes, MD. Check current employment status. Check previous employers. Current employment status. Dr. Henry Holmes currently holds the position of Chief Psychiatrist and Administrator at Mercy Mental Hospital, Snohomish, Washington, UCAS. Previous employers, 2045 to 2054, Psychiatrist in Residence, Mercy Mental Hospital, Snohomish, Washington. 2040 to 2045, attending psychiatrist. 2030 to 2040, private practice. Good to know. Know where we can find him now. Johnny sure did say something there. Anyways, it's time to get our butts out of the Matrix. We have found everything that we can. New turn order starts. We can keep skedaddling, and Vienna is... Shadow is out. Johnny will need another turn to make it there, unfortunately. Attacker, nobody wants you anymore. You did your job. Reality is at the end of the day contextual, and as the meat world comes back into focus, your head once again tries to settle on which world is the real one. While the philosophical question lingers, your meat body demands food and drink. You disconnect from your deck to find that the rest of the safe house has risen. We can now talk to all of our merchants, and I get real excited about Gruberman here because I love him so much. Probably talking about the karma here or something. Which we got a karma for that, which is definitely not bad. I didn't see it all pop up, but I can definitely see that we have it. Can't get our decking to 5, unfortunately, but we can get it to 4 at the very least. And we'll get it to 5 as soon as we can. 6 intelligence is the maximum for trolls, which is interesting. The racial limits on some of the stats are a pretty neat mechanic. Of course, we go straight for Gruberman. Despite the hour, Buster is fastidiously put together in another wrinkle-free suit. He shows every indication that he's been up for hours, sunk to his elbows in a dozen crates, each containing objects of sinister motte black hidden beneath curls of straw-colored packing foam. The foam flies about as he inventories the shipment, clinging to every surface except for Buster's immaculate suit. Just in time! I've got a whole slew of new toys in from a supplier back east. Factory fresh and still smelling of their mother's gun oil. Maybe there's something in this batch that you'd be interested in. How long have you been in the trade, Buster? Well, let's see here. I left Cal Free on July 8th, 2038 at 6:13 in the morning. It was a Thursday. Love how he knows it right down to the minute. From there, I wandered a bit. Plied my skills as a merc in a half-dozen different wars, official or otherwise. Never did take to running the shadows like some of the boys I knew. Too subtle for my tastes, I suppose. Surely there was no shortage of full-scale engagements to be had, so I didn't want for work. Might still be doing it today if I hadn't lost the arm. Replacement looks up to the task. I wanted to say let me guess boating accident, but... What, this here? No, this is a more recent upgrade, thanks to Doc Castle over there. For a good while I was sporting something a good deal clunkier. I keep the old one in back as a reminder. It was all so stupid. Some Azzies were lobbing smokers behind our lines, more to mess with us than anything. I decided to toss one back, and didn't it just figure that the one I grab ain't a smoker. I got it off, but only just barely. Shredded my old arm, but good. Got plenty of other scars to remember the moment by as well, but the arm was the big one. So take a word of advice from an old soldier. Make sure you're never holding a grenade in one hand unless you just pulled the pin with the other. Now, if I haven't given you reason to doubt my professional competence, how about we talk turkey? What can I get you? I think we do actually upgrade our rifle here. Unfortunately, there's still no actual sniper rifles, so no sense going for 2 guns at the moment. Pretty sure we grab that FN Har. Better damage, better clip. Still long range. I mean, it's pretty much the rest of our money, but that's fine. It's just me checking for a sniper rifle here. Looking forward to getting one. They do exist, I do remember that. Their clips are usually more like 1 to 6. Their damage is like 18 something to start. So we spend pretty much most of the rest of our money there, but we knock out our AK. We're just going to sell that thing. And knock out the hard just so we can put it in the correct positioning. Organization is very important. And then we just pop right back in here and sell our old gun, which gives us at least a little bit to play with. There's the outfit dude. He has new outfits. We have the Ganger mask, which I keep thinking is Gengar, the Pokemon. Kind of reminds me of Sander Cohen's area from Bioshock 1. And then the Refurb UCAS shock gear, which looks pretty damn cool, like heavy power armor. But the Ganger mask gives us quickness 1, and the Refurb shock gear gives us strength 1. We're definitely better suited for quickness 1. There's a cockroach in my eggs! Algernon looks the same as always, so much so that one may wonder if he ever takes time to eat or sleep. Perhaps his presence on this plane of existence is insubstantial enough that he isn't subject to such base needs. Or perhaps he just does these things when no one is looking. Dark clouds surround you, my friend, but perhaps there is something I could provide that would help you with whatever weighs so heavily upon you. What's new in the world of magic, Algernon? The spirits are stirring. Something has upset the natural order, and there is something new, different. That weird other that the disembodied spirits told us about before. I've seen some sick Drek lately, might be what you mean. Algernon takes a hard look at you for what may be the first time, but this is the hard look of a magician, whose eyes pierce the veil of reality and burrow through a man's soul. I can see you have met with disturbing visions. But there is something else out there, something not born of life, as other spirits are. Shaking his head, Algernon opens his clasped hands to you, as if begging forgiveness. Too often this world leaves us confounded. I pray I have not left you in such a state with my idle musings. Unfortunately, we don't buy any of Algernon's stuff because we don't use magic with this character. Time to go talk to Dr. Sarah Castle. Just one glance is all you need to tell that the good doctor is exhausted. Her crumpled scrubs are stained with a mix of blood and other fluids too colorful to be naturally occurring in the human body. Her eyes are those of a person who has built up a substantial sleep debt and has no idea when or how to begin paying it off. Amen, sister, I hear you there. I'm not one to talk, but you look like Drek. Afraid there isn't much I can do for that. Doc Castle snaps her fingers and calls forth the spirit normally seen perched on her shoulder. It appears from out of the ether, and the doctor immediately seems less fatigued than she was a moment before. Now, what can I do for you? Everything all right here, Doc? Here at the Union? Yes, fine. I'm just getting back myself. Days here tend to be slow, so I volunteer at a medical center on the other side of Touristville, and I had a rough shift. What happened? Care to talk about it? Hadn't you heard? Doctors don't like to talk about their problems. It makes us appear less godlike, but I'll humor you. I didn't hear all the details. All I really know is what came in on the lips of the victims healthy enough to still speak. Apparently, one of the Baron's gangs incurred the wrath of the local Siolpa rings, leading to a rolling shootout through the city streets. Several bystanders were injured. But the real mess didn't begin until the party crashed into the yard of an old industrial plant out on Union Hill Road. They woke some sort of toxic spirit, which then began running amok, causing easily as much damage as the initial battle. And we were left to pick up the pieces, of course. But enough about my troubles. Let's hear about yours. Tell me what ails you. I think we do take a look at her cyberware, but there's nothing that we get right now. Anyway, it's time to stop delaying and talk to David Fry. David looks almost as tired as you do. You can tell that this case has gotten under his skin like it has yours. Any luck in there? We found an exact match for the DNA, but it was linked to a dead chop shop assistant by the name of Silas Forsberg. Now, I have my theories, but what do you think is going on here, Shadow? Maybe Silas faked his death. DNA evidence has belonged to the killer. That's a distinct possibility. What was it that we saw in the autopsy report? His face was so mangled they had to use dental records to identify him. Yeah, that's the suspect. Good catch. That matches up with something I've seen runners try. It's easy enough to find a body shop that'll make a replica set of teeth for you. Find some schlub off the street that no one will miss, swap the teeth, and throw the heat off your trail for a while. Lucky I've never been that desperate. But why would he need to go to those lengths? Did the police records have something linking him to a different crime? He had a prior for unlicensed plastic surgery. True. Wouldn't look too good on someone's record if they wanted to become a doctor. I think this is beginning to come together. The late Silas left all his belongings to a doctor. Dr. Holmes. Employment records have him as the administrator at Mercy Mental, and the picture on his file matches a person you saw downtown. We never did see that picture. The same person this DNA belongs to. All the evidence points to him being your killer, whoever he really is. I should go find this Dr. Holmes and ask him some very pointed questions. Please pay him my respects. I always find that high-caliber rounds get the message across. You should clearly hire some friends and go loaded for bear. I side-loaded a ton of valuable data from those Lone Star Matrix notes. Here's your cut. We're not going to ask if he's not coming. He's got his own shit to do. Here is where we can go buy our gun and our armor. We end up going with the Ganger mask. I was initially reluctant about it. I'm like, oh, I don't think that'll look cool. And then I'm like, you know what? We'll take the quickness and it'll look decent. At least better than this weird tube thing. And that's how we look now going forward for at least the next little bit. The Gengar mask. And the map always takes a moment to load when you equip a new outfit. Showed us with a weird leather coat there, and I was really excited that we got to keep that, but after selling the thing, you can see that no leather coat. We already got our new gun, that's right. I think no point in grabbing the new deck right now, because we can't use it, so we don't. We need to make sure we hang on to a bit of money to actually hire some people. Like I say, we do take a look at the cybernetics here. Nothing new as far as I can tell. We could get us one of our arms or a second leg. There's also the dermal plating, but nothing really worth getting here for right now. And we need, like I say, we need to save our money for hiring a team. I do want all of it though. Suddenly Delilah is available. If you're looking for runners again, I'm your guy. Discreet service only. Hire me a crew, baby. We end up going with the rigger that we wanted to hire last time, Dreadlock, I believe. We take Shannon, of course, because she wanted to be there when we take down the killer. And then I think we take Hidden Fancy as a samurai. We did take Hidden Fancy last time, so she's been on every mission so far. Every mission where we can hire a team. We could say the same for our rigger, but we... Oh, no, Black Hand is who we take. Dreadlock is who we took last time. We want the one with the gun, basically. Also, his drones look better. One's a smoker and one is a Doberman. They both prove quite handy. But you'll see more of those in the next episode. Yeah, Recording Shadow. Black Hand's the one for you. There you go. And now for our last. Tempted to go for an adept at some point, simply for the Golden Sun connection. Those guys are like your monks of this world. They do a lot of like chi-based attacks. Or ki, I don't know which one they use. But they're very up close and personal. And it's nice to have a recurring party, you know what I mean? So we take Hidden Fancy. She's a really handy gal to have along. Just do it, Shadow. You know you want to. There's no one else here that's worth your time. And we don't need a mage, because I mean, tempting as it is, we already kind of have Shannon with some shaman stuff. And none of these attacks are super duper amazing. So just take your gun gal. Come on, take the gun gal. There you go, yeah, come on. You're so close. Hey, there we go. And we still have about 900 credits left. Not bad. Come on. There you go. We're heading to Mercy Mental to confront Dr. Holmes. The blood you found in the warehouse belongs to a man masquerading as one Dr. Holmes, and you've tracked him to Mercy Mental Hospital, located in the notoriously anti-metahuman farmlands of Snohomish. The drive to the hospital is long and unpleasant. Finally, you reach the walled and gated hospital compound. Despite the pretense of security, the gate is unguarded, unlocked, and open. No one stops or greets you as you drive up to the large, crumbling building. Gothic ramparts top a damaged roof, cracked walls, and broken windows. All around the building is a lawn gone wild. Only the artificial light from within speaks of inhabitants. You walk up to the hospital steps to confront Sam Watts' killer and bring an end to the Emerald City Ripper. Alright, let's continue. Of course, we gotta do our equipment, but it's already set up. Kind of annoys me that the deck took priority over the gun in the inventory there, but what are you gonna do? Receptionist. Oh, yeah, no, gotta save. don't forget to save. Welcome, ma'am. What business brings you to Mercy Mental Hospital? Here to see Holmes. Dr. Holmes. Kinda wish I'd said here to visit a patient so we don't tip our hand, but whatever. Ah, a new customer. Please wait in the common room up ahead. I'll notify the good doctor. He will be with you in a moment. Please stay within the cafeteria. We got 2 locked doors. We can look through the windows into that room, but unfortunately, nothing we can do here. So we head into the cafeteria. There's Lorraine to talk to. But also, is that a cabinet we can examine? It is. It's an automated medication dispensary. It doesn't recognize you, so nothing happens. There's also a data jack there, implying we can hack in at some point. We can't currently. So let's just go talk to Lorraine. Hey, lady. Have you seen Josie? I don't think so. I know, right? I haven't seen him in days. Dr. Phillip told me not to worry about it. He says I worry too much. But who am I supposed to play chess with? Donnie over there can't suss more than match 4. Josie sounds like quite a guy. What's he look like? Well, he's big, and he's got a big gold ring. The doctors let him keep it when he got here. Sometimes he lords it over us. But I'm sure if I had a ring like that, I would do the same. He says he won it playing for the Screamers in the Super Brawl years back. I could see an ex-brawler becoming a celebrity around here, sure. We don't want to be a dick about it. He's got great stories. They don't let us watch sports in here. Violence and triggers and stuff. But listening to Josie talk about his games, it's almost as good as the real thing. Will you at least help me look for him? I have this key I swiped off the day guard, but they keep a close eye on us. You could have a peek in the infirmary and see if there's a record or something. He might just be in a cool-off room and they won't tell me. What's in it for me? Well, you can keep the key. Oh, I got one other thing. The guards keep some supplies in the bathroom lockers. I bet you could find some nice stuff there. Thanks for the tip. There's also Donnie right there. But I had a feeling when recording this that talking to him would trigger stuff to happen. So I do wait to do that. Instead, we're going to use our newfound key. Sure, when are you on break? Mr. Guard's flirting with a receptionist or something. In we go. Yeah, that doesn't look healthy. The stench of blood and mold gets ever stronger as you move closer to the infirmary. Gotta love the casual arm just sitting there. Read the medical history. Patient information for Josiah C. Dawson is open on the cyber terminal. Name, Josiah C. Dawson. Date of birth, 7/18/2015. Height, 1.9 meters. Weight, 95 kilogram. Occupation, retired. Allergies, none. Medications, alprazolam, rabexatin. Reason for stay, post-traumatic stress disorder. Status, deceased. Read the attached notes. Patient had undocumented cyberware in the left arm, as well as multiple pieces of shrapnel in various locations. Complications would likely arise if transplanted to another host. The rest of the body is in excellent condition and can be used to improve other subjects, as well as fulfill some custom requests. Good to know. Let's take a look at said arm. A severed arm lies next to the zipped body bag. Arm looks human and appears neatly severed at the elbow. There is a large gold ring on the index finger. Its owner is probably the occupant of the bag. You slip the heavy ring off the cold finger and feel its weight in your hand. Inside is an engraving. It reads Screamers 2048. Yeah, well, we found Josie. You find an unlabeled trivet disc. You have no way of playing back the disc at this time. The surgical cart is strewn with gruesome tools. Something vices. Double check here just to make sure that he wasn't lying about being, because I saw the occupation retired. I'm like, oh, it said his job wasn't a urban brawl player, but yeah. No. Dead guy is on the up and up. And if I remember correctly, this is where we kind of leave it off here. Yes, okay. So thank you to everyone for joining me. I hope you had fun. And don't worry, next episode I fix my microphone and the recording is live to the episode rather than voiced over afterwards. But thank you to everyone for joining me once again, and I will see you all next time for some more Shadowrun Returns.